Welcome, everybody. Thanks you for tuning in to another episode on CTM TV. Could be slash Mike Motivation, but something I'm going to make for this channel. And making this for people that want to hear it, making it for people that want to receive it. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Let us know what you think about the topics we've been talking about, whether on the Thinking Game podcast, where we talk about life topics and how to think through it. CTM Sports, when I get around to it, classes is, tearing me up with this homework. But I'm going to get around to it. And stuff like today, when I get time to make presentations or slides, eventually I got to go around the schools and talk to some kids. When I get the time is trying to find it. It's fleeing. Every time I look for it, it's fleeing. However, thank you for everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you for everybody who's been watching. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. So today I wanted to make something. Recently I went with my wife. We went to the tour, a trade school for her. She teaches at Metropolitan School of Trades and things of that nature, post-education kind of stuff. And when I was riding home, I was thinking about how can you prepare kids for career advancement? Not more so from an academic level, but from a life mental level. How can you prepare kids? And that's what we're going to talk about today. How do we prepare our youth for career advancement from a mental level, a mental perspective? How do we do that? And the first one is getting understanding for each journey. A lot of times, probably more times than we probably want to admit or not, kids are just being sent places and you're just hoping that they catch on, or you're assuming that they're going to pick it up. And sometimes it's just not the case. Not blaming anybody, not saying anybody right or wrong. What I'm saying is, how do we get them to understand what it is for each journey? We're going to talk about that today. The things you have to have mentally baked in, what you finna deal with. When you go from an adult, you're not going to high school anymore. You're an adult now. You're trying to go into a job market, whichever one you choose. There are some universal things, in my opinion, that you need to learn first. And when you think about it, says a survey cited by Inside Higher Ed states that in one study, only 13% of Gen Z teens felt prepared to make a decision about their future or career path. 13%. We got to increase that percentage. That's a national study, not local, but national study, according to Higher Ed, Inside Higher Ed. That lets me know that not only do they have enough information, but they're not having that conversation with somebody who's either went down that path before them so they can know what to expect, or having some kind of resource to gain insight on what you're going into day to day. So we're going to get into that a little bit. This is what no matter what field you go in, there are some things from a universal level that needs to be learned. In order to have mental foresight of what is coming and how to counter the tough situations and not allow the distractions that cause the temptation of ending the journey and starting back over in another field. I am guilty of this. That's why I like having a conversation and talking about these things. I am guilty of this. Starting something, stopping, starting something, stopping. The best way I can explain this to you is if you look at sports, you get drafted in the NBA, you're a rookie, you play 2 years, you say, you know what, now I want to go play in the NFL. Now you go from trying to be a veteran in the NBA to being a rookie again in another field, another sport. That's the analogy I'm using. You go from one to another and you starting back over at the rookie level. The purpose, a snapshot of career advancement is you want to get to whatever field you get in, you want to get to the all pro level, Hall of Fame, like all pro Hall of Fame kind of level in whatever career field you choose. But that takes time, it takes practice, it takes effort, it takes a lot of things. But there are some universal foundational things that you got to know first before you even get there, before you even get drafted or be a rookie or whatever. We're gonna talk about that. But 13% of Gen Z teens said they felt prepared to make a decision about their future education and career path. There are a lot of career paths out there, but depending on where you are, you might not even know about the different career paths, depending on what's in your proximity. I know where I live, where I'm from, in Southwest. The proximity of jobs that people, if you can't get outside of Southwest, it's probably going to be retail. It's probably going to be working at a restaurant, like the fast food industry, gas station, grocery store. That'd be retail too, stuff of that nature. You're not going to find tech corporations in Southwest. You're not going to find, and I think Amazon, that's in Alexander. That's not even Southwest. That's in Alexander. So you have to get a ride out there. However, there are still things that like say, Lord willing, if everybody can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, help me grow, get monetized, raise some money. If I can build a center to bring kids to after school, to teach them the life skills after you learn the academic skills, why behavior is important, why appearance is important, things that I took for granted and I'm learning now why it's important, very important. So the first one is commitment. Understanding what it's going to take to execute, staying committed, even in tough times. Another study, according to go.nscu.edu, among opportunity youth neither in school nor working, a policy brief noted that 23.8% had not received a high school diploma or GED. It's a lot. That's a lot of people. On a national scale, that's a lot of people. You want to finish getting your diploma. That's the bare minimum. You want to get that. Commitment. Being able to finish something that you start. Even in the tough times, life will hit you when you're making a commitment. Things will happen. I'm telling you from experience. The 4 years that it took me to finish school at 40, I think I started when I was 38, something like that. Tough times came. Thank God for my wife and my family, my kids for understanding what I'm doing. And thank God for giving me the energy to go to school, go to church, spend time with my family, do homework, and make content. It's a lot of time being cut up and chopped up. But even in tough times, I knew that I had to finish the education that I set forth to do. Because I had stopped many times before that. I got an associate's degree, then I stopped. I still don't know why. I think I just got tired. I just said, and that's why I'm really telling kids don't even adopt that kind of mindset. Stay ambitious. Stay wanting to be better. Don't allow 5 or 10 years to go by and you haven't improved. You have to want to improve. No matter who else wants to do it or not. I'm saying from an individual level, you have to want to be better. Even if it's in increments, it's still getting better. But let's say we line out 4 or 5 career fields or college, trade, medical, vocational. We lay them out. And you say, I want to go to college. Now let's talk about the commitment of going to college. You have to be mentally ready to do homework. You have to be mentally ready to commit to class schedules. You have to be ready to commit to filling out paperwork, whether it's financial aid, records, getting shots if you need to. You have to be committed to the process of getting started, committed to the process of maintaining, attending classes, finishing work, completing projects, and committed to staying on the path, even in tough times. You have to stay committed. You want to go to a trade, an apprenticeship. It's a commitment. You have to be committed to working the set amount of hours that it takes to be an apprentice, to a journeyman, or whatever they call it, a journeyman or something like that. So many hours you have to get. Just like in college, in order to get a bachelor's degree or associate degree, it's so many hours that you have to get. Credit hours, working hours. You want to be a vocation, same thing. Hours you have to practice and train, cutting hair, doing hair that you have to get before you can take the test to get licensed. There's a commitment involved. Getting up 8 o'clock in the morning, being on time, doing their homework, all of those things. Commitment, doing the homework, even when you're tired, you don't feel like it, you've been up all day, you've been doing many tasks, and you forgot to do your homework and it's due tomorrow. You still got to stay committed. I've been there doing it right now. Another thing, we got to talk about this, get our kids prepared for this. This is one of the things that I know that a lot of kids could struggle with because I struggled with it when I first started. When I was before I got into an actual career field, I just had a thing. I just picked easy jobs, right? I worked at a dealership at one time washing cars, and that wasn't even the hard part. It's dealing with the people that work there. It wasn't even the job is not as hard. It's the people sometimes that throw you off. So a survey of U.S. employees found 22% reported experiencing verbal abuse at work, according to American Psychological Association. Verbal abuse at work. That's my slide. Language and culture. And I have no matter the field you choose. Understand everybody does not talk the same and cultures are different. Unless you work at a job where everybody is under the same cultural umbrella, most of the time it's not that way. Especially as you advance and move up, it's a mixture of cultures. And guess what? You want to go into certain fields, the language could be abusive. So with that being said, don't allow the language to stop you from staying committed to the path. Don't allow the language to make you quit. Don't allow the language to cause you to say, I don't want to do this no more. Because everybody don't operate the same. Everybody don't communicate the same. When money's on the line, people's working jobs, they probably not gonna have time to just sit down and talk to you. I'm not even making excuses. I'm just telling you it's there. And you have to be mentally prepared for it. Don't let nothing come between you and your advancement and your money. As a man, your job is to get to a place, skill wise and financial wise, that you can take care of your family no matter what happens. That's the place you're trying to get to. Not easy to get there, but you can get there. And the earlier you start on that path, the better off you will become. But do not let, because somebody cuss at you or they try to sway you from leaving. Because sometimes people don't like you because you're good at what you do and they'll try to sway you to leave. Don't allow the language or the culture to stop you. Race is real. I'm not going to ever tell you it's not real, but what I can tell you is you can develop the mindset to overcome race and language that's not particularly cared for, abusive. Don't allow or don't feel like you have to be stuck in it. Sometimes you have to work at a place to build up your resume, to build up your skills, and then you can elevate and go elsewhere. But sometimes you have to endure, you have to develop that skin to be able to be in the culture, but not be of the culture. Like I'm here, but I'm not doing what everybody else is doing. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. And I'm not going to let the culture infiltrate me. I'm not going to infiltrate the culture. I'm just here to build my skill, to build my resume, and stay committed. Don't allow it to stop you from your path. Understanding standards. You may not like it or agree with it, but knowing what the standards are is very important. It's another thing I struggle with. When I was younger, I didn't really have suits and I didn't even have a lot of button down shirts. I had more polo shirts than anything, right? Polo style shirts with the 3 button in the shirt. But as you get older, you start to see the different fields, like going into IT. I started to see more of the casual khakis, button down shirt, casual shoes, no tennis shoes. I either had to conform to the standard if I wanted to get to the bread, or buck against the standard and lessen my chances of getting to the bread. It's your choice. The minute you get out of the thing, I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do, you got to realize when you work for another company, they paying you, they have a standard. It's not your standard because you don't own it. It was there before you got there. It's gonna be there when you leave. Whether I agree with it or not, it's there. The standard is a standard. We have to get out of the mindset. We have to teach our youth that standards are for a reason. Whether you agree with it or not, it's there for a reason. Sometimes in life, you're going to have to do some things you may not agree with. That don't mean that it has to be unethical. It may be a preference. You might not like wearing button-down shirts, but that's the standard of the place where you work. So now you got a choice. Are you going to let a button-down, not want to wear a button-down shirt, stop you from making X amount of dollars? Something to think about. There are a lot of things in place, whether we agree with it or not, they are there. And if you don't like the standard, just remember the commitment as a man, get into a place where you can take care of your family no matter what. And sometimes you have to deal with standards. Another one is just adjusting to practice on your free time. Whatever field you go into, can you practice on your free time? Why would I practice on my free time? To increase your chances of success. When I went to school at Pulaski Tech for Cisco routers and switches networking, enterprise networking, we had to do hands-on labs with routers and switches. You got to connect them. Then you have to go to your desk, connect to it, and then configure the router or switch to do what you need to do, whether it's spanning tree, whether it's wide area networking, all kind of stuff. And the way that I increased my chances of success is I had a home lab. I had 3 routers and 2 switches. No, 3 switches and 2 routers. You got to learn how to put the IP address on the router in order to route. Learn how to do the switching protocols for the switch. You got to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Do you want to just scrape by? You want to be good, or you want to be great? You want to be mediocre, you want to be good, you want to be great. It costs you something to be great. It do. It costs you something. And you got to ask yourself, am I willing to pay the cost to be great? But in order to be great, you have to adjust to practicing on your free time, increase your chances of success, do that over and over and over. Next thing you know, you start cresting into being great. What happens when you don't take advantage of the time of your youth? According to the Labor of Statistics, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in quarter 3, 2024, full-time workers aged 25 plus without a high school diploma had median weekly earnings of $734. In 2023, full-time workers without a high school diploma had a median weekly earnings of $721, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Converting $734 a week to annual, assuming 52 weeks, gives about $38,168 a year. The NCES reports that those who did not complete high school had a median annual earnings around $35,000 for certain age groups, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. So, a reasonable ballpark average median salary in the U.S. for someone without a diploma is roughly $35,000 to $40,000 per year when working full time. I'm telling you that's the average. That's the median. Not everybody's on the median. You got to understand that everybody's not on the median. Even then, median still is not a whole lot left over after you pay your bills when you're on the median income, especially when it's just you. You got to think 700 something weekly. That may be after taxes and stuff, but you still got to pay bills. You're not going to have that much left over. I'm just being honest. I've been there. I made that much money before. Once you pay your bills, you don't have that much left over. Matter of fact, you live in check to check, but you actually cutting your check in half trying to pay stuff in different parts of the month because you can't pay it all at one time. take advantage of the time of your youth. Don't allow distractions, wanting to hang out, do what everybody else doing to take away from you developing yourself, getting in position to be great. Because a lot of times, few choices, few decisions will and decrease your chances of being great. I'm telling you from experience. I've been there. And I want you to be better than me. I want the young people to get to success earlier instead of the average that people don't reach certain amount today in their 40s and 50s. In my opinion, if we can get our youth to really get a little bit more serious about their development and understand how important it is, I think they can reach it in their late 20s. Because the process is the process. 4 years of school, 2 years of an MBA, that's 6 years, 7 years. You can't get past that, or so many hours. You're not going to get past that. That's the process. But if you go through the process, you'll be better on the other side. And that's something that's going to stick with you. Can't be taken from you. Instead of just saying, I have experience, which is cool, but at some point, it's going to be hard to sell it. And I always tell kids, don't give anybody any reason to disqualify you. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow. Hit the like button. Let us know in the comments how we doing. Let us know if we can come talk to your kids about being prepared for life and career advancement after high school. Because a lot of times you don't get taught those life skills. How to deal with people, how to deal with abusive language, understanding cultures. It's a little bit more than a 20-minute conversation, but it needs to be taught, in my opinion. This is Mike, CTM TV, Mike Flair channel. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will catch you on the next piece of content. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the love, and I will catch you on the next one.